What up, though, y'all? My bad, I ain't been around, but you got to know it's going down. So, did recently I was on the Doggie Diamonds podcast. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Actually, not the podcast. I was on the Doggie Diamonds live. You know what I'm saying? And check this out. We was talking about snitching in the street code, and the this and the that, and the that and the this. Boy, I got a lot of phones.
What's up? You on the line with Doggie Diamonds. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, doggy? This Juan-o.
Juan-o, what's going on, bro? Shout out to you and your channel. What you think
Man,
about?
Now, first of all, shout out to Doggy Diamonds. He really is like the Podfather, if you know the history of this whole internet and YouTube stuff. Like in the beginning, it was him, it was Al Prophet from here, it was Sub Zero, but Sub Zero is him. It was a couple of different people doing hood DVDs and things that was going on in the hood. Doggy Diamonds don't get his credit. Let's shout out there. And then not only that, um, without us actually kicking it, he's been very helpful to my channel.
This. Do you think the street code matters anymore?
I mean, it's not so much as do the street code matter. It's more of the selective of who ends up in the street. You know, the street code matter to somebody like me because not just because I sold drugs, but because of where I come from and how I come up. And what we confuse in the street code with is the black code. You don't snitch on another black man because if they come get him, they'll come get us all. And if we bring them over here for him, then they coming back for the rest of us. That ain't really got nothing to do with the streets.
And let me elaborate on that. See, the whole thing about the street code is motherfuckers ain't even got no morals. People don't have no self-morals, no self-value, no self-respect. So they could never understand the street code. Let me tell you how I started out. My family, who had been a plug since the 80s, when I first got into the game, I bought a quarter hard, a quarter soft, trying to figure out what I was going to do. The quarter hard was water whipped. The quarter soft was stepped on. And he gave me that shit like that on purpose to see could I hustle my way out of that situation. And I did. And I didn't buy shit else from him because he did that to me. And when he noticed that I'll hustle myself out that situation and I elevated to copping. What was I copping when he reached back out to me? Because I'm learning the game here. I might have been copping 2 ounces, which was cheating myself because I should have been copping a split. Or I could have been copping a big, but I was copping 2 ounces and I had then danced around different weight dudes in the city trying to get clean and pure product. And then he reached out to me and he like, yeah, I know that wasn't that, but I'm going to give you this. And then we got locked in. But I went through a training and testing process before I was allotted the opportunity to be a part of the pipeline that I was a part of that never had a drought from 2007 to 2012, or was it 11? It might have been 11. Yeah, it was 2011 when I got involved with the pills. Yeah.
So you saying if dudes is out there doing harm in their community, and what do you? This is what I'm saying. The street code was made for the underworld, right? So you say where you come from, you wouldn't do it, right? You wouldn't do it.
No.
Go ahead. So, but what is the street code anymore?
And me not snitching ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It's just about what I involve myself in. I'm not going to sit or stand by or passenger seat anything that I'm not willing to go down for. So it has nothing to do with nobody else. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna allow people around me that I have knowledge of being a party to certain things to be with me and bring that on me if I'm not willing to take that. And that's the whole thing about the street code. The street code is all about accountability. And you not being a part of or around shit you ain't willing to do the time for.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think these two things are getting conflated. Like, for example, if you raping people in a neighborhood and I'm the drug dealer over there, then I might need to handle you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
So, but isn't dirt though? Like, does is it because you're doing one thing and I'm doing another? Because if you're the drug dealer in the neighborhood, who you selling the drugs to?
Yeah, I'm selling them to the neighborhood, but drugs is a victimless crime, so to speak.
Now, let me address that. I didn't always sell drugs to the neighborhood. I was a neighborhood drug dealer, but to be honest with you, to get the type of money that I was getting, you couldn't be selling drugs to the neighborhood. You had to be selling drugs elsewhere. And that's something that be getting misled and mixed over. And a lot of the times when you got people in the neighborhood buying drugs for you, they be runners for people that's not from the neighborhood.
People that's doing drugs.
No.
People that's doing.
All right. Let me ask you. Let's be honest. Do you have anybody in your family that was afflicted by drugs?
Most definitely.
So you know it's not victimless then. The person who sells, the person who's the drug user, the children of the drug user, the parents of the drug user, the family of the drug user sometimes become victim of the stealing, the lying, the breaking, and all of that. So it's not victimless.
Yeah, no different than everybody in the city become victims of the pollutants that our jobs put out.
You comparing apples and oranges. We talking about. I get what you're saying.
It's the same thing. No,
I mean, nothing is good for us. Nothing is good for us per se.
Exactly.
But the point I'm making. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead.
No, but we do agree that it is a line. Now, somebody choosing to do drugs and it affecting their family, that's messed up. But somebody choosing to take somebody else's innocence, that's a whole nother line we talking about crossing here. Just like somebody killing innocent people. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you to a certain extent, but I'm going to be real with you. Crime is crime.
Hey, look, this nigga Doggie's he's a hard customer, but I think I got him on the ropes a little bit.
Crime is crime. Crime, and that's where it gets crime.
So if you a scraper or you a person that poisoned the community and got the babies strung out, you got crack babies out here. Taking drugs is a choice, but it's also a disease too. Drug users fighting a disease.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I was a tormented soul from selling heroin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know how they did you. If you ever got caught, they hate the dope dealers, the literal dope. They hate them the most. You know that.
Now that's something that got missed. You know, because Doggie got to do what he do. But I think he missed what I was saying about being a tormented soul from selling heroin. Like what I saw what that did, and then when I saw how people, you know what I'm saying. Now heroin is a cleaner drug than crack. If you get somebody credit on heroin, chances of you getting your money back is about 70% or better. You know, heroin addicts typically have things going on, but at the same time, that heroin has such a hold on a motherfucker. It ain't even funny. You know what I'm saying? And that's what secured me getting into pills, selling heroin. My heroin addicts was getting pills. You know what I'm saying? The pills that the white people wanted. But I had pure heroin from my people. Look, I almost said a name. Shout out to you, bro. He went legit with me too when he got out of jail. And he my legit partner. He the only person I could talk to that know what it's like to be a drug dealer that actually went legit, punching the time clock. You got your mortgage, your house. Me and him, you know, in your retirement. I've been doing more property and assets. He been doing more enjoyment and vacations and saving. You know what I'm saying? So we be able to compare and contrast. And that's important to have you an ally that you can discuss with as you transition into being better. Damn, I can't even use the word transition. What the fuck, man? This was a fucked up.
And
Go ahead.
But I had a real transformation with that. I go from doing it in the city to doing it in the sticks in the suburbs where the clientele is totally different.
And they gonna give you the 848 up there if you get caught.
Hey, and they tried to give Juan-o the 848, but look, Juan-o had his shit set up right. You know, a lot of you niggas talk about snitches and going to jail and all of this and all of that. Juan-o paid taxes. Juan-o had a name in the states that he was in that wasn't Juan-o. You know what I'm saying? Juan-o did a lot of, we gonna teach a course on that. Juan-o did a lot of things to make sure he wasn't catching an 848. But then Juan-o also almost got roped into catching an 848 because the niggas he was around that was supposed to have been 100% street dudes was not 100% street dudes when their own decision showed up at the door. You know what I'm saying?
They throwing a book at you in them suburbs.
Yeah, and the niggas you take with you will help you get that 848. And that's why I say when it get to the street code and do it actually exist, I think a lot of people that's in the streets are not qualified to be in the streets. Period.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that. Some people shouldn't be put on. But does it matter in 2025? I understand what you went through. In 2025, does this street code matter anymore?
It still matters to a degree, but what we seeing in 2025 is a rash of kids that shouldn't be in the street. No way. No different than my 14-year-old son trying to get involved in this, that, or whatever, and he come from a full family. And that's exactly what we got. A lot of these people, they might not have had everything, but they had all they needed to do better and have opportunity. Yet they ended up in the street. And as soon as they get in that cell and
facts,
they hear a number, not a fact that they had opportunity rings home, and now we got this rash of snitches. It's not so much a rash of snitches. We got an abundance of people that should have never been in the street. No way.
Listen, you ain't saying nothing wrong on that. I appreciate your call. I agree with that 100%. I think
Doggie Dime is a hard nigga to get to agree with you. And that's what I got to say about this shit. What more game?
Dudes is putting dudes onto the set that ain't built for it, putting packs in people's hand that ain't built for it.
Right.
And then when they get caught, but that's what I said earlier, bro. If you seeing Lil Woody and 6ix9ine benefiting from telling, how it's gonna hurt you if you tell.
But when you look at a Lil Woody, this is where we're wrong at as a community. That's a hurt, emotional person. That's not a gangster. And we
facts. And it ain't just Lil Woody. A lot of these motherfuckers that we say or we look at it like they tough or they this or they that, they hurt, they emotional, they feel abandoned. There are a whole lot of traumatizing things from their childhood years that make them be like that. They ain't got shit to do with being gangster because as soon as they get in a gangster situation, they're not gonna do as gangster.
We look at people acting out of emotion as tough or gangster. It's not. That's a cry for help. No different than a young thug being the leader of the crew.
Yeah, but we don't gotta his cry for help ain't got nothing to do with him allegedly down and shit. We all crying for help, but I can't go outside and turn into Charles Bronson and be like, because I needed help. You still got to go to the can.
You absolutely right. But what I'm saying is Woody was being congratulated for being a stepper before he even got in trouble. But he wasn't really a stepper. He was an emotional kid acting out. And anybody looking at him could know that because he going to get emotional with them. But the nigga crying the drop of a dime.
Right, but that is the ills of our community. It is a lot of emotion. It's a lot of PTSD. It is a lot of abuse. It is a lot of that in our community. But if we all use that as an excuse.
Nah, I would just like you to know it's a lot of all of them things that Doggie just said in every community. The only difference is us black people the only one to bring it to the public square. It's abuse in the Mexican community, the white community, the gay community. As a matter of fact, domestic violence in the gay community is higher than it is with cops and their wives and or husbands. And cops got a high rate of domestic violence. So all of these things exist in other communities. It's just the black community is the only ones that's promoting their dysfunction, and that's why we look like we 100% of what's wrong, because we talk about it.
Then it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. True for the person, for the individual to say it, but for us that's looking at the individual, we got to quit classifying everything as thug and gangster. A lot of these guys is bitches. You know, Young Thug get the role or the call of being a gangster, but everything he's done has been bitch made since we've been looking at him. And
facts.
His whole city congratulated the dress. They congratulated the smoking penises. They congratulated the blacking people out. They congratulated the picking sides. And as soon as he got in trouble, he was.
Young Thug has been on some bitch shit long before them phone calls got leaked. Keep it going.
Wasn't willing to stand up to nothing he put on everybody else, and they still supported him. You know, at this point, Offset the realest nigga in Atlanta. He the only one was.
The realest nigga in Atlanta is Offset. That's a fact.
Friends with who he was friends with because they was friends and stayed friends. All the rest of them is fair weather. And we've been following their lead. So we looking at the trickle down effect. You look at a Little Dirt, he had to get money to call shots. I had to take risk. I got to call shots because I took risks, not because I just had money. When I was coming up, the dude who had money didn't automatically make him the leader.
Right.
The nigga with
dudes
the
is
money.
buying sets now. Dudes is buying sets. Yeah, you're right. Dudes is buying position. You're right.
Because you're a real respectful brother, so I know when you roll with the few homies you do got, the dude that talked, the dude that speak for everybody, if y'all.
And that's the real 100. A lot of these people ain't qualified to be in the positions that they in. That ain't to say they shouldn't be a part of the crew, but some people shouldn't be a part of the crew. Like me, myself, I don't come into the set saying I'm going to be the leader. I end up in that position because I'm willing to take the punch in the face first. I'm willing to put my money in first. I'm willing to believe in somebody first. I'm willing to have an idea first. I'm willing to take a chance first. I'm willing to be accountable when shit don't go right, whether it's my fault or not. That's how the fuck I end up being a leader. Got nothing to do with money. Got nothing to do with fame. Ain't got nothing to do with who the bitch is like. It's about what a motherfucker bring to the motherfucking table. And leadership is fucking responsibility. And that's why people like using the word boss, because they don't want the responsibility of leadership.
I'll get in trouble. The dude that's gonna swing first, the one that's gonna, talk to everybody, old lady, y'all all got y'all job descriptions and y'all move. Nowadays, we in a world where job descriptions is being picked on money and who you like versus what you bring to the table.
Let me tell you why that's qualified, what you said. I said I got more money than all my friends and my family, but I still got to listen to them. Seriously. My older cousin who be on here, if I wild out, he'll call me and say, yo, nah.
That's true. And if you ain't...
that ain't a good look.
If can't nobody check you, you can't pass a test.
I can't be like, what, nigga, I got a bag. Yo, I'm getting to... No, my older cousin told me something. Then my other cousins called me, and they just bully me because I'm the baby cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I still got to listen to my family. It don't matter how much money I got. My foreign, they don't care about none of that.
And that's where we went wrong at. That shit shouldn't matter. We don't play our position.
Right.
Being a little homie on the winning team is just as important as being a boss. And that's the problem. You should have somebody that could correct you. None of these little dudes got nobody that's going to speak to them honestly that they respect that's going to correct them because they feel they got the money. And that's asinine.
Yo, listen. You dropped it. You dropped it heavy. Make sure, man. Make sure y'all shout out to Juan-o. Go to his channel, and
And that's where we at with it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Doggie Diamonds. Like, if you don't know Juan-o about what I'm about, like, yo, I did all that shit that niggas proclaim they want to do. You understand? And I succeeded at it. And then not only that, I retired from it. And then not only that, my baby mamas, none of them. If they don't want to work, they ain't got to work. My mother, my sister, whatever they call me for, ain't never heard the word no. As a matter of fact, I had to go to therapy for the past 4 years before I can start telling people no. I just now started telling people no in 2025 in the month of August. These niggas couldn't change my socks. They couldn't hold my jock strap. When you go off and you getting involved in this shit, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know what you're worth. And make sure you know what you're willing to give up. And right now, what they asking for and what the risk is, ain't even worth throwing them dice. But if you're going to throw them dice, I can damn sure tell you how to fucking throw them right. And we out this bitch. Shout out Doggie. I'm back. Y'all give me a little room, but I'm back.